Michael Velasco, Provident Accounting Services. Today we're going to talk about the W-9 form and how it relates to our 1099 that we're going to be receiving from our respective vendors. So we're going to break down this W-9 form. A lot of us are used to the W-2 forms, being a W-2 employee, but as an independent contractor or a vendor for a company, they're going to ask for this W-9 form to be filled out. So we're going to break that down today. In the meantime, if you don't mind subscribing to this channel, liking this video, there's lots of terrific tax and accounting help on this channel, so you want to be sure you don't miss any of it. And let's get going on the W-9. So first, let's look at the form itself. What does the W-9 look like? I've pictured it here. We're going to get in detail of how to fill this out here in a second. But this form is a form that the company is going to ask you to fill out because you likely did some contract work for them, or your company did some work for them, so that they can issue you a 1099 income. So the 1099 form, I'm going to picture it here as well. This is the form that you're going to be receiving if somebody's asking you to fill this out. And so this is going to tell the IRS how much money you have earned from them, so that they can basically wipe their books of those dollars and then in turn give you those numbers on your books. Okay, and that's the way the IRS wants it done. To anything over $600 in income, you're supposed to be receiving a 1099. Keep in mind, some folks or some companies may issue you a 1099 if it's less than 600 as well. So keep that in mind. There isn't really a limitation to it in regards to the dollars amount. So let's go ahead and get involved in filling out the W-9 and how to properly fill this out. Okay, we've got the W-9 pulled up. This can be found with a simple Google search. Type in blank W-9. This is a fillable one. I recommend using a fillable one that you can type in and then print and sign at the bottom of page 1 here. Additionally, you'll find some other pages to this form. These are instructions, which I find to be quite helpful if you actually read through them, if you have any questions, or that reference in page 1 to the instructions below. So I'm going to quickly go through this. It's relatively easy to get through. The first two questions are the ones probably get the most confused. Your name, section 1 is your name as are shown on the individual tax return. So if that's just you and it's your name, you're an individual, you're going to type your personal name. Okay? If you are a company here that is not a single member or disregarded entity, you're going to put your company name. I can't spell today. And corporate. Okay, and so if you had an individual name, down here is where you put your, if you're a single member LLC or a sole proprietor, then at that point you can put your LLC or sole proprietor company there as well. Okay, so for the purposes of this one, we're going to put individual sole proprietor. That's probably the better part of the people watching this right now. If you were a C Corp or an S Corp or a partnership, you would select the respective boxes. If you're a limited liability company taxed as a C Corp, S Corp, or a partnership, you would fill out this section and then notate, like we are an S Corp, so we would notate as a limited liability company that we are an LLC taxed as an S Corp. Okay. This section here says other. This would be like if you were a nonprofit, you could just check the box and fill out the appropriate name of your company or tax classification of your company. Okay. Exemptions, payee codes in section 4. There are some exemptions that codes that would apply to certain entities, and those exemption codes are actually located down in this section, exemptions from FATCA reporting codes. And for example, if
if it was a real estate investment trust, a bank, a broker, an organization exempt from the tax under Section 501A, individual retirement plans, etc., etc. So there are some exemptions that you would fill out. That would be probably the minority of people watching this video. For the most part, all of us are going to be in this wheelhouse here. And then we're going to fill in our address. This would be your business address, is probably what I would do. Unless you don't have a business address, then it would be your home. And filling out your business and your city, state, zip code, right? Making sure that's all complete. Okay, so these two sections here under requester's name and address, this is optional. If you were submitting one for every single person requesting or company requesting a 1099, you wanted to keep track, you could here and list your account number. I just fill out one every year and I go ahead and save it and then just email it or use a secure transfer system to send it over to the companies. And I believe that's the best way to do it. It will save you a lot of time. Okay, so if you are a sole proprietor, don't have a tax identification number, you would put your tax identification or your social security number here. If you were a company with a tax identification number, or an employer identification number, I should say, you're going to come down here and fill out this section, okay? And so it will be either or, it won't be both. See how it says or here? And then down here, you're going to print and you're going to sign and date it. And then, like I said, just keep a copy. You just need page 1 as a copy. And then again, you can reference this bottom section. The bottom 4 pages are just filled with a lot of instructions, okay? And if you don't have a tax identification number or an employer identification number here, you can apply for one, and we'll do a separate video on that altogether. But if you're confused by that, we can give you a little bit more information on how to achieve one of those. We actually have one of those videos, I believe, in our archive on a tax identification number or employer identification number. Okay, what is known as an EIN. So that's how you fill out the W-9. Nothing to be afraid of. This is normal operating practice, and that's how you fill it out.
So some helpful hints when somebody asks you for this W-9, don't panic. It's a normal tax form that you're going to be filling out. And if you have people that are doing work for you as a company, you should be issuing them the 1099 and asking them for a W-9. So this is the way businesses work in transferring dollar amounts to the respective businesses. So first, don't be afraid of it. Just fill it out quickly, get it back to the respective vendor, and never ever issue a payment if you're issuing these 1099s or asking for or issuing payment. Never ever issue payment without first getting that W-9. Because what we've found is, as accountants and business owners, is it's a lot easier to get that W-9 filled out prior to issuing a check or as a requirement to issue the check, and that's how most businesses do it. So anyways, I hope this video was helpful for you. Again, don't be afraid of the W-9. Use it as a tool for your business as well. And if you have any questions, feel free to comment in the comment sections or feel free to DM us on this page. Thank you so much for watching.